Welcome back to the beginning of part 2 in the Donna Kirkland court case in the Marshall County Circuit Court in Guntersville, Alabama. Again, I apologize for speaking fast as there is a lot of argument necessary to squeeze in. Now, America, Alabamians, these Marshall County judges will have incarcerated Donna Kirkland for 31 days to her first court date on June 19th of this year, 2013, and they think they are teaching Donna Kirkland a lesson not to fight for her rights against these judges, whom Donna was and is an innocent woman to begin with. To teach Donna a lesson not to make the attempt to bring the U.S. Constitution into the court to defend her constitutional rights? Forget Donna Kirkland for just a moment and stop and think. Here's the big picture concern. These judges, attorneys, bankers, prosecutors, the sheriff and his deputies are substantially, many of them themselves, criminals backed by the bank's bribe money and motives to commit illegal foreclosures, who will be coming and are coming after you or a family member, a neighbor, a friend, a member of your church, and so on. Then you'll remember Donna Kirkland when they come to take another home from someone else you know tomorrow and the next day and the day after that, and then it's too late for everyone. What I'm showing you and pointing out, America, is that what these bankers and judges did prove is that no one, not you or me, ever matters to them. They have proved we the people no longer have any constitutional rights. None. These judges control most of all of everything now with their hired guns, their own will, and their own personal agenda. The Constitution, church, and the Bible are negated down to silly relics now. It's the judge's own way or the highway. Forget about law, morals, or justice. It's just them now in charge to put you in prison where they take their cut and profit off of you. Now, Brenda Barnes, the bank CEO, and all the other named criminals herein. Donna Kirkland is petite. She weighs maybe 100 pounds and she's 60 years old. Does it make you a better person, Brenda Barnes, to take Donna Kirkland's liberty by force, by trickery, fraud, deceit, and have Donna beat up, cut off all her Crystal Gayle length hair, sprayed her with chemicals, stripped off her clothes, handcuffed her to the wall, and put her into solitary confinement? All that proves you are in fact an evil, lying pastor's wife, Brenda Barnes, for you to have made that occur against Donna Kirkland. Is that what pastors' wives do, Brenda Barnes? Is that what real men do, Sheriff Scott Walls? Now I want to point out and make clear, Marshall County Sheriff Scott Walls is doing the dirty work for the judges, and Brenda Barnes, as an actual criminal here, involved with a capital C. Marshall County Sheriff Scott Walls is the typical stupid Alabama Bubba redneck without a clue Hollywood has pointed out in movies time and time again, where Sheriff Scott Walls has not read, he does not comprehend, does not understand the U.S. Constitution law document he swore an oath to protect, honor, defend, and obey. The same with the Bible. Scott Walls does not know Jesus. Sheriff Scott Walls is supposed to be a sheriff of the people who elected him as sheriff, to act correctly and truthfully in the law as a law-abiding man himself, not placing himself and the judges above the law. But the record shows and proves Scott Walls is a criminal himself, profiting off of many innocent people like what he does and has done against Donna Kirkland. We know that under the direction of Scott Walls, sheriff deputies and jail personnel have severely hurt Donna Kirkland. Grant Police Officer Thomas Sorrell and Marshall County Deputy Billy Dobbins roughed up Donna Kirkland, causing substantial bruising, muscle, and skin tissue injuries. They have cut off Donna Kirkland's hair that was the length of Crystal Gayle's hair, and they waved, shook her hair they cut off in front of the camera to make fun and sport of Donna. Donna was further stripped of her clothes, taken to the shower, and scalded with hot water across her chest on purpose by several gay women deputies who get off on such illicit behavior. Much like allowing the fox in the hen house yourself. Scott Walls, would you like to explain such horrendous actions and Marshall County policy of hiring, allowing gay women to take it upon themselves to dish out wrongful punishment to hurt women prisoners in your jail? Mrs. Walls, this is what your husband does for kicks. He is very aware of all this with full knowledge of what occurs in his jail. Mrs. Walls, will you continue to stand in the church now, turning your head and looking the other way, lying to Jesus like your husband does? Does Donna Kirkland's blood, innocent blood, is on your hands too, Mrs. Walls? You profit off the pain and suffering of innocent people now and again also. And your husband enjoys it, watching through the glass at naked women, prisoners, get beat up by gay women deputies, and then comes home to you with evil, dirty hands. So, Mrs. Walls, before you get defensive with me, realize your husband is stupid. He arrested Donna Kirkland with a fraudulent, fabricated warrant under color of law, There was no lawful judicial authority or power behind the fraudulent warrant because of the Marshall County judges, Tim Jolly, Tim Riley, Howard Hawk, and now the next idiot judge, Mitchell Floyd, did not verify or ever have properly established plaintiff Brenda Barnes' standing. Brenda Barnes has no standing. Scott Walz has no standing. Which means, my dear Mrs. Walz, these judges do not have lawful subject matter jurisdiction, which means these judges have no lawful judicial authority or power backing them up to issue an arrest warrant, which is fraud under color of law, which means that your husband, Scott Walz, acted under color of law with a fraudulent false warrant, which makes him guilty of false arrest, false imprisonment, assault and battery, city policy and failure to train to sexual assault, cruel and unusual punishment. And just on the long list of charges against your husband goes. Against Scott Walz is posted on the internet for all of America and Alabamians to see that Scott Walz is a criminal patsy, shielding judges and bank CEOs to commit bank fraud, securities fraud, and your stupid redneck husband is a joint conspirator criminal with them, and a stupid one at that. Next up, these Marshall County judges appointed Donna an attorney by unlawful judicial force against Donna Kirkland's free will, a so-called public defender attorney by the name of Michael Stevens. Now, dear Americans and Alabamians watching this, let me demonstrate where evil, real evil, lies. A few questions for the attorney, public defender Michael Stevens. Number one, Donna Kirkland is charged with felony counts. Michael Stevens, where's the jury? Number two, her simple private civil court dispute matter was turned into a criminal case by court judicial deception. Michael Stevens, where's the jury? Number three, Donna is now being brought up before the very same named judges herein involved in judicial corruption, not by jury trial, but by their judicial buddy and partner in crime, who's a single-handed unconstitutional conspirator himself, protecting and shielding the other judges from outside prosecution, much the same way as a getaway driver allowed to sit on the bench in judgment over his accomplice bank robber who robbed the bank. Number four, Donna has been and still is completely denied due process, completely denied discovery. There was none. She has not been allowed to cross-examine witnesses. She's not been allowed to present her witnesses. The true party plaintiffs in interest, or in other words, the actual complaining witness, plaintiff, has not been present in court, and the attorney for the plaintiffs, Brenda Barnes and Scott Walz, cannot legally testify or act as a witness in standing and be the attorney at the same time. And all this was committed with no impaneled jury. Number five, how does state and county prosecution enter into a private civil matter? Number six, what business does the county and state have in this matter? How has the county and state been injured? Where is the lawful injured state county witness with lawful chain of standing? Since Brenda Barnes had no standing, the bank had no standing. Judges had no subject matter jurisdiction. Therein Sheriff Scott Walz had no standing, where the sheriff then committed felony crimes against Donna Kirkland, does not give or lend proper law charges to any crimes against Donna to lawfully engage the prosecutor to pursue or act upon. 7. How does the county and state have either established verified bona fide standing or subject matter jurisdiction to bring bogus, false criminal charges against Donna without a jury? Attorney Michael Stevens, you dumbass! Whose side are you on, Michael Stevens? Why, of course, you're a deception, a deceitful plant by the court, an officer of the court to stick a knife in Donna's back. Now all of you in America and Alabamians are seeing the truth about you, what you are doing to Donna Kirkland. Michael Stevens, you're a conspirator criminal found in violation of law too against Donna. That's all the time I have for this in part 2. I'll pick this up again in part 3, beginning with the corruption and criminal involvement with Marshall County prosecutors Steve Marshall and John Young in Guntersville, Alabama. Please follow up the rest of this complaint in part 4, and thank you so much for tuning in once again.